Hello everyone, I'm Akamiya, and this is a response to the Skeptic. I'm sorry, Armored Skeptic. He made a video some time ago, and I felt like I wanted to respond, so let's do that. I mean, it's not like I think he did something wrong, but I'm going to give him a little help, because I think he needs it.
What can you point to that says why murdering babies is any less desirable way to increase food supply than harvesting fruit from trees?
Talk about a loaded question. First of all, that question is not even worded properly. Sure, there's no logical reason not to kill people to increase the food supply, but that's not why we don't kill babies.
Sounded like you had a little trouble there, air guy. I mean, loaded questions are a real piece of work. So I'm going to give you a little tool that you might find useful in the future. I mean, it's still in the experimental stage. I mean, I'm still testing it, but maybe you could help me. So, I'll get it. I'll get to explaining it.
Alright, so what I'm going to do, Armored Skeptic, is show you how to build a logical model for morality. The reason for this is to counter loaded questions like these that you might encounter in the future. Now, for others who are watching, I want to be clear. I'm an agnostic atheist. This means I lack belief in personal gods, but I don't actually know if one or more exists or not. I'm consequentially a theological non-cognitivist, because the definition of God, or gods, varies from religion to religion, person to person, etc., and some definitions just straight up don't make any sort of logical sense. I am Gnostic against the God of the Bible specifically for reasons any of the other agnostic atheists I watch may also be Gnostic against him. I could explain this more specifically in a later video if asked, but this video isn't about that issue. Why am I talking about this? Because, being a former Christian, it relates to how I came to understand how morality works, but this understanding is tentative and subject to criticism. Now, let's get started. First of all, what is morality? Well, I operate from moral philosophy, which is basically ethics. You can look that up in a dictionary. To build a logical model for morality, you must have at least one assumption as a foundation. For Christianity, the Bible is generally claimed to be the foundation. For Islam, the Quran. For Jews, it's the Torah. At least I think it's the Torah. Criticize me for my ignorance later, it's not the point. For practical purpose, I'll use my model as the example, but if you decide to take this approach as well, you do not have to follow my model. Your morality, your business. So, my assumption is such. Actions that benefit society and the individual are good. Actions that detriment society and the individual are bad. This sounds like black and white thinking, but really it isn't, and I'll tell you why. This model is evidence-based, using elements and studies from sociology and psychology to compare actions, circumstances, and consequences, in that order. It's self-correcting. I'm not going to explain in too much detail what my model is in its entirety. I'm hoping to just let my actions and arguments speak for themselves and actually demonstrate my model over time. Like I said, it's experimental. Speaking of experiments, let's demonstrate this model to see if it holds against that loaded question. Bring it.
What can you point to that says why murdering babies is any less desirable way to increase food supply than harvesting fruit from trees?
Well, there's a few problems with that question. First of all, you omitted several variables that make all the difference. As the question stands, there is a logical reason not to kill babies to increase the food supply. It causes suffering and unnecessary harm to the poor kids, and possibly even their parents. I've already covered cannibalism in an earlier video. As far as I'm concerned, the only way that would become even remotely acceptable is when the human species has absolutely no other food items to consume. Basically, humanity as we know it would be screwed anyway, and lofty concepts like morality become irrelevant. The human species would be dying, heading to extinction. Absolutely no hope of survival. This model was not designed to combat loaded questions per se. I made it because I wanted a form of moral consistency that I could only get through logical reasoning. Very Vulcan of me, I know, but applying it in arguments seems to work well in this way, at least as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for watching, Armored Skeptic, and I know I said I would have this up within the weekend, but things happen. Sorry. But I hope you find this method useful nevertheless. If not, feel free to tell me how things go. It's tentative by design, after all. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and, by the way, subscribe to the Armored Skeptic. He's pretty cool. Well, he's been around a few months, and I like watching his stuff. If you like my videos, you probably like his videos. So, see you around. If you ever want to collaborate, I'm open to it.